Hello, hockey fans. Welcome into the Neutral Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Adam Karnick and Zach Puplis here with you tonight. We have got lots in store for our show here tonight. Lots of news, facts, figures from around the hockey world in store for you here tonight. A bunch of games going on, 8 on tap tonight in the league. We've got some stars returning. We have some stars out. We've got an eye on the future already in the upcoming draft, and also with where the salary cap might be going forward. We've got some international news, and we've got the preseason debut for a brand new league. Lots going on in the hockey world tonight, and only so much time to talk about it. We will dive into all that and more right here on the Neutral Zone. Do not go anywhere. Let's have some fun. And hello and good evening once again, everyone. Welcome on into the Neutral Zone. Adam Karnick here with Zach Puplis as well. Zach will be in just a second. Lots to be going through here tonight. Glad that you are here with us. Excited to be talking lots. Glad to be talking some hockey with you. Glad that both of us are able to be here. And let's just have some fun, shall we? Zach, how you doing tonight?
Hey, fantastic, Adam. How are you?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. We're working around a little bit of a technical glitch, but I think we got it figured out.
Hey, woohoo!
So lots on the docket here tonight. What's number one for you here tonight on the show?
Well, I think the Red Wings are on quite the heater. They're on a surging streak. I won 5 of 6 since Thanksgiving.
5 of 6 since Thanksgiving, huh?
Yeah.
And then of course you got Patrick Kane joining everything too.
I know, yeah. He wasn't back for the game against his former teams, the Rangers and the Blackhawks, but hopefully soon. We could have used him in that game against the Rangers. We lost 3-2, but looks like we were just fine without him against your hometown team.
It doesn't take much to have a lot of success against. It doesn't take much to have a whole heck of a lot of success against the Blackhawks right now.
But yeah, wins against Boston 5-2, Minnesota 4-1, you guys 5-1 over Montreal 5-4 in overtime even, and leading Buffalo tonight 4-0.
The Red Wings are red hot right now. That is for sure. And of course, we don't want to get too much further, of course, without acknowledging our sponsor here at IE Sports Radio. That is Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Check them out, planetjerky.net. You get free shipping on all orders of $50 or more, whether you prefer something on the more tangy side, the more savory side with the classic barbecue, all the way up to the tongue-smashing Carolina Reaper. Whatever your fancy, they've got something for you. Go check them out again, planetjerky.net. Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet. And we want to thank everybody that is listening live here on this Tuesday evening. You have found your way into the Neutral Zone here on IE Sports Radio. IE Sports Radio is available for you on all the major social media platforms. You can find us at IE Sports Radio, whether it is Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or X. We are there for you. This show is also available for you on Twitter, also known as X, at IESR Neutral Zone. I am at Adam_Karnick. Zach is at The Pupless. And if you are listening live here tonight, hop on into the chat room. We find Marcus Los Great is there. Good evening to you, sir. Let people know about the show. Help spread it around. They don't have to listen live. We are also, all the podcasts are available on lots of different platforms. Of course, Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Google, lots of options and opportunities there. So spread the word. Let people know if you like the show. Let people know where they can get some fun hockey talk. We try to mostly keep it on the rails, don't we, Zach?
Mostly.
Mostly, we talk hockey when we have to, and then, we talk other stuff too from time to time.
Yeah.
So lots of games going on in session here tonight. As we normally do, let's give a quick rundown of the scores real quick, Zach, and then we'll dive into it. Go for it.
All right, Rangers and Senators. Senators lead 5-2 in the third. Looks like that period just started a little bit ago. Kings and Blue Jackets. Blue Jackets lead at 3-1 in the third. Red Wings over Sabres, like we said, 4-0 Red Wings at the almost end of the second. Sharks and Islanders are at the end of two as well, just about. Islanders lead that 2-1. Blackhawks lead the Preds 1-0 in the first.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Yeah, there you go. And Ducks and Avalanche just started. 0-0 in that one. Still to come tonight, Wild and Flames and Devils and Canucks. I was trying for the rhyme, but it wasn't there.
No Ducks Canucks, not this time.
Yeah, that one's still to come tonight at 10 o'clock.
Well, let's go ahead and let's start with that Red Wings Sabres, which they are almost at the end of the second, and the Sabres have managed to get on the board. It's 4-1. But let's start with that game, Zach, since I know that is near and dear to you. Your Red Wings have been on a bit of a heater lately, as you told us a little bit about.
Yes, sir. Yeah. 4-0 tonight. Multiple games with, 4 or more goals. Patrick Kane's not back yet, but everyone else sees.
Oh, we lost Zach for just a brief moment there. Zach, we lost you for just a brief second there. Yeah, Patrick Kane has not made his debut yet. Are you a little surprised that Kane hasn't shown up yet for the Wings? The thinking kind of was when they signed him, the expectation was that he was going to be starting relatively soon.
Well, I don't mind giving him a little bit more time. I'd rather him to come back fully healthy than rush it and get hurt again.
Yeah, and you're coming back from surgery too. You don't necessarily want to rush coming back from surgery. Excuse me.
Yeah, exactly. But they've gotten some good contributions from multiple different players. One of the previous games, I think Comper had 2 goals and somebody else had 2 goals too.
And of course, with Kane coming to you guys, he gets to be reunited with the cat, Alex DeBrincat.
Yes. Yeah, that's funny. We were talking beforehand which ones we wanted to cover. It's like, oh wait, I'll cover those because they're my guys. Oh, they used to be your guys. Sorry.
It is what it is now.
Yeah.
Is what it is now. But yeah, that's I'm sure a huge reason why Patrick Kane chose Detroit was the relationship there with Alex DeBrincat.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, and I think they're a nice up and coming team too, with Larkin and Raymond and all those guys. Moritz Cedar. They beats the Canadians 5-4. The game that I was referring to was Comfer and Fabry each scored 2 goals as the Red Wings beat the Blackhawks 5-1.
And then on the other side there, playing the Sabres on the other side, you win some, you lose some. Tage Thompson is back now for the Sabres after missing their last 9 games. They get their top line center back, which is excellent for them. But then just as he comes back, they put Jordan Greenway and Alex Tuch on injured reserve. So you get one just to lose a couple more.
That's the way it goes sometimes.
And they also tonight are without Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, so they had to recall one of their goaltenders from down in the AHL, Devin Levi. So the Sabres, while yes, you're getting Tage Thompson back, and that's exciting, and that's always good for the team, you're still not at 100% there.
Yeah, true. I think I lost you there for a bit, but yeah.
Yeah, even with Tage down, even with Tage coming back, they're still not at 100%. That's still frustrating for the Sabres that they cannot get, and they've, for as good as Detroit, this is a tale definitely of two teams moving in opposite directions. We would have thought also that the Sabres would have been one of the young up-and-coming teams this season, ready to take the next step, much like the Red Wings are starting to do. The Sabres have not been able to get on track, in part because they keep having to deal with these injuries. They're basically the bottom of the Atlantic Division time and time and time again, and they just cannot get themselves on track here.
When I were checking the scores, they didn't have anything, but yeah, you're right. They did score. It was on a Rasmus Dahlin goal on a slap shot with an assist for Tage Thompson and Dylan Cousins.
So Thompson comes back into the lineup and he gets a point right away. You like that from your top line center. You'll take that.
Yeah, for sure. Red Wings goals have come from Michael Rasmussen on a wrist shot with an assist from Jeff Petrie, a former Spartan, by the way, and our funny name guy, Ghostus be here.
Ghostus be here.
Right? May the ghost be with you, too.
And also with you.
We also got a goal from Moritz Cedar. That was a slap shot. Assists for Fabry and DeBrincat. Let's see here. Oh, that's everything for the second period anyways.
But a strong start for Detroit tonight in Buffalo as they're taking on the still shorthanded Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah. The other 2 goals looks like they came from Robbie Fabry. He got his own wrist shot with an assist from Andrew Kopp and David Perron to make it 2-0. And the first goal was Dylan Larkin slap shot. It says snapshot. Is that a thing?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. Snapshot with an assist from Lucas Raymond.
It's like a hybrid between a slap shot and a wrist shot, basically.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right. Let's go ahead and take for ourselves a quick break here, our first break of the night. You are listening to The Neutral Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. When we come back, we've got some news to dive into, some heavy news across both the NHL and in international hockey. We will be breaking down and getting you caught up on some of those things all across the hockey world. This is The Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Do not go anywhere.
IE Sports Radio fans, it's your boy, the SoCal Saint, the host of the premier professional wrestling podcast online today, the IE Elite Wrestling Show. If you're a fan and have a passion for the world of professional wrestling, this is the show for you. I take you inside the ropes with all the athleticism, high-flying, and hard-hitting action, and then we take it backstage with all the backstage drama and backstabbing that goes on in the world of professional wrestling today. If something's going on in the world of professional wrestling, rest assured, the SoCal Saint knows what's going on, and he's going to let you know too. If you're a fan, check us out every Tuesday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, only on IE Sports Radio. The IE Elite Wrestling Show, your direct feed for all that is professional wrestling, on the only network that is your direct feed for all that is sports. Check us out.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Davidson.
It's your boy, Notorious Law.
And we are the hosts of Fast Break here on IE Sports Radio, where we discuss everything in the world of basketball from prep to the pros.
You guys should definitely check us out, man. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We got all the basketball information you guys need, so we look forward to you guys listening in.
And please do, because we are the best basketball show on this side of the Mississippi. And please do check us out on Twitter at FastBreakISR. D-Lock, where's our time again?
8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. That give you guys plenty of time on a Sunday.
Tune in.
Hello, everyone. My name is Daryl Kinsey Jr., and I'm welcoming you to take another lap with the fastest show on IE Sports Radio. Yes, this is the Extra Mile with me and my co-hosts Christopher Lehman and Michael Ward. We talk everything racing from NASCAR to IndyCar to Formula One to limited hydroplanes, endurance racing, the NHRA, and more. So come join us for an hour of great racing talk and a lot of fun as well on the Extra Mile, Thursdays at 8 p.m. only on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hello, sports fans. It's me, your boy Larry B, and I want to walk you through the world of sports. No, not just the mainstream major TV deal type sports, although those are important too. But let me be your guide through your journey of all sports, from college to the pros, the minors, and everything in between. Each week, we are talking sports galore with true diehards just like you from a hardcore fan's perspective that's sure to quench your thirst around leagues you may know all too well and some you may even discover here. That's right, sports fans. If you love sports of all kinds, enjoy hearing amazing sports stories, and respect all sports because you know how difficult any of them can be to play or compete in, then this is your show. Join me, your boy Larry B, on the defining moment each week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports, and let the sports come to you.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Rate, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy, awesome white tea. They're coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Again, I'm here, Zach Puplis, with Adam Karnick.
So,
Adam, we're about to talk some salary cap.
Yeah, so we got a lot of news from the day. Let's start off with this little nugget from Gary Bettman. We talked about it on the show a couple weeks ago. We got into a little bit of a nerdy discussion about the salary cap. Gary Bettman announced today that the NHL salary cap is going to go up next season. The cap this year is $83.5 million. It's going to go up next season. They project that it'll be $87.7 million. So that's going up just over $4.2 million. So this is 2 years in a row now that the salary cap has gone up. The only way to interpret that is that the league is healthy, that they're doing well. There's extra revenue coming in. I'm positive that that's from their new relationship with ESPN and Hulu and those marketing avenues. But that's a big jump for the NHL. It hadn't jumped this. I mean, the pandemic obviously stunted the cap. It didn't grow at all for several years there because of the pandemic. But this is now the most the cap has gone up in 1 year. It's been basically 5 years since we've seen the cap jump this much. It went up $4.5 million between the end of the 17-18 season and the beginning of the 18-19 season. This is $4.2 million. So we're seeing good signs of growth there with that.
Yeah, at the time he said he projected revenue for the NHL was expected to be more than $6 billion, while noting the league would be able to supply a fuller picture of those projections during the Board of Governors meeting coming up in Seattle.
And you had asked the question during the break, Zach, of comparing this to the NFL and their salary cap numbers. Obviously, the NFL is raking in much bigger dollars. Their salary cap is starting at much higher. You're talking the NFL's salary cap is in the neighborhood of $220 million, which is almost 4 times what the NHL's is. You asked, hey, $4 million, is that a lot? This last salary cap for the NFL went up by basically 10%. This cap for the NHL is going up basically 5%. So it's not NFL numbers, but it's healthy growth. It's half of the NFL's growth, which for the NHL, that's significant. That's job well done. Job well done by the league to be doing that. That's gonna help everybody in the long run.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Exactly. And then I know you had some far more interesting stories to be getting into besides me just talking math numbers. What first of all, in future stuff, where's the draft going to be?
Sure. They are choosing Las Vegas for a draft. Ever since, gambling became legal throughout the whole country, at least, sports gambling, the whole black eye, I guess, or stigma around Las Vegas has just come down with it, and everybody wants to go there for every big event now.
Party City.
Yeah. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman said today that the 2024 NHL Draft will be held in Las Vegas, and the league is finalizing plans to hold the event at the Sphere with the intent that it could also be the last centralized draft for the foreseeable future. Wait, why the last centralized one?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Well, let's read on and see. Bettman said having it at the Sphere, which is more than 18,000 seats, would make the NHL the first league to hold a sporting event at the facility. The auditorium, which has a wraparound LED interior and curved LED exterior, was featured along the race course of the Las Vegas Grand Prix last month, which I was comparing that to the Chicago one, and I think the Chicago one was better. You got better views of the city versus the Las Vegas one.
We also didn't have nearly as many potholes.
Well, I hear they had to revamp everything, refurbish it all for the Chicago one.
Yeah, but they did it right. They did it right. In Vegas, they were literally having problems with the road coming open at the last second. So
were they? Oh my God.
Yeah, they were having issues. They were having issues with that. They were having trouble.
Scary. Since the NHL draft started being held at NHL arenas in '86, it will be just the third time the draft has been held at a non-NHL venue. First occurrence was back in '05. The first draft after the lockout, when it was held at the Westin Hotel, Ottawa. Oh, man. Also happened in 2020.
Leave the kids with Grandma. We got to go to the Westin Inn in Ottawa, baby. Woohoo!
We're going to host it at the Four Seasons.
Are they sure there wasn't a Holiday Inn Express available?
I know. Are you a doctor? No, but I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
While I was there, they gave a free pick to everybody with a 2-night stay.
Right. It also happened back in 20 and 21 when the draft was held at the NHL Network Studios, New Jersey, because of the pandemic. Well, obviously, that part makes sense. Bettman says, I think it'll be a pretty well-viewed event, both in terms of the draft itself and the use of the Sphere inside and outside using the globe. We think it'll be fun. We think it'll be dramatic and compelling.
It's Vegas. A good time will be had by all. It's one of the. As soon as you mention Vegas as a possible destination for an event, you have made your decision. You stop the discussion at that point, and you just move on to how does this happen.
Oh yeah, the logistics of it for sure, and pulling it off and doing it justice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he said decentralized draft. So he goes into it more. He said going to a decentralized draft allows organizations the opportunity to work from their team facility rather than traveling. It's what the teams did during the pandemic, and it's also the same format the NBA, NFL, and Major League Baseball use for drafts. The NFL doesn't. The NFL hosts a huge event like this.
They host a huge event, but what the NFL does is they keep your important people are home, are working from your draft facilities in your team operated and team owned buildings, and they have delegates there at the draft. So that's probably what he's talking about then, is you'll have delegates wherever the site is to officially, they answer the phone and then hand over the card so that you get the big moment. But the actual general managers and scouts then are working from the relative comfort and security and privacy of their team facilities. So that makes sense.
Okay, I didn't realize it was kind of had a dichotomy to it. Okay.
Yeah, when they're at Radio City Music Hall or wherever it is with Roger Goodell, the general managers are not on site. Whereas in the NHL, they have been. Everybody's been there on site, and that there's advantages to that too. There's less chance of a whoops happening where somebody doesn't get a pick made in time, or, oh, we made the pick, but the phone cut out, or blah, 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 problem happened,
right.
getting from person A to person B to person C.
Of it becoming a big game of telephone, you picked the wrong person.
Right. Yeah. Literally. Yeah. It's a game of telephone. So yeah, literally that can. No, you idiot. I said Mac Jones, not Dak Phones.
Right. Yeah. Batman said he did like the old format and felt it had a charm to it, before adding that the clubs felt it was time for a change. Quote, families are going to be there. Prospects are going to be there. We're all going to be there. But this gives the teams who thought it was important, with more and more people with computers and data involved with the draft and doing that type of work on the floor, they were all more comfortable in their home environments.
Security. That would be the big thing for me. If I were a general manager, be like, I don't want to run any risk of my data getting snatched by somebody else, and then they know who I'm going for.
Oh, yeah. They could scoop you at every pick.
Yep. Or I want to be able to feel free to have an open conversation without worrying about ears intercepting what I'm saying either.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, good. I'm glad. Thank you for clearing that up for me, because the way the NFL has done it, I feel like they've been able to monetize everything. It's like, okay, you got the Super Bowl. Okay, and then in the offseason, you got the draft, and the draft's such a huge event, and it's not just, it's not just the teams calling the players. It's an actual event. It used to be always in New York, and then being able to take it around the country, touring it to different cities, whether it's Nashville or Chicago or Kansas City recently, or it's a huge draw for fans to be able to go there to celebrate your team's new picks. You never know what kind of drama is going to ensue with trading and so on. But yeah, it's they've been able to even though it's not even a game, like, they've been able to monetize everything between with normally all the games in the Super Bowl and the draft. They can put that on TV, draw in all these advertising dollars, because people are going to watch it live. They're not going to, because otherwise they'll hear about it later on, and, oh shoot, that's who got the first pick. Oh, don't spoil it for me, and on top of that, the next up and coming thing is the combine, like being able to make money on that when they put that on TV. And I feel like the NHL should do it the same way. These are easy ways to make more money and draw more eyeballs into your sport. So I would be disappointed if they were going to go away from this, centralized draft, but I didn't realize there was a little difference. Okay, got it.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, you still have all the party, you still have all the benefits of the fan forward experience, but then your teams can have some leg room and some stretch room and some security, and knowing that they can do what they need to do without having to be in the middle of the dance floor in Las Vegas.
Yeah, true. Passive income. That's basically a good term for it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not your actual product that you're putting out on the field to get people to buy. You want people to come to your games. You want people to watch it on TV, so on. But it's all the stuff that's adjacent to the games that draw in fans as well. And again, if you're doing it in public, you can sell tickets, you can sell beer, you can sell like all this stuff, plus all the advertising dollars.
Yep. Oh yeah. It would be criminal of the NHL at this point to not do something to try to sell the draft, because as you point out, other leagues have, the NFL most notably, has blazed the trail. They've pioneered the path to show other leagues how to do it. And so that is good that the NHL is trying to pick up the torch a little bit. And they've done a decent job of trying to televise their events. And here in the States, now that they have that partnership with ESPN, that's only going to help them with events like this, because ESPN, you really want to get into the nitty gritty. Televising a draft is something that ESPN literally invented. So there's no, you want to learn how to do it. ESPN is the source for that. So they're partnering up with the right people. So it does make it is good, and they are learning the right lessons from it.
Oh, for sure. And like you said, they already blazed the trail. They made the blueprint for how to print money, basically. You might as well follow their lead.
Yeah. Pick up the breadcrumbs. Follow the breadcrumbs. Follow the breadcrumbs. It can't be it can't turn out too poorly for you. All right, I know you've got a little bit more serious of a news and notes item. Tell us about what's going on with neck guards.
Sure. So after the incident with Adam, I'm forgetting his last name, but over
in
Adam
England.
Johnson. There we go.
Adam Johnson in England.
Yeah, across the pond. They have decided, the International Ice Hockey Federation anyways, have announced yesterday they're making neck guards mandatory for all levels of competition in the tournaments that it runs, including the Olympics and the men's and women's world championships. Mandate would not apply to professional leagues, including the NHL, which currently does not have any cut-proof safety requirements for players. Any sort of mandate in the NHL would require an agreement between the league and the players' union, which have been discussing skate blade safety for years. Which, I mean, after seeing what happened, it's like, I feel like that would be a no-brainer for the Players Association to want to do.
Yeah, there's already some NHL players that are starting to wear neck braces, neck guards. They just can't.
Sure.
They just can't. The NHL can't put the hammer down without first talking with the players' union. They technically have to bargain it, and both sides have to agree on what is and isn't permissible.
Sure. Well, and I'm sure there's a cost to it. And are they able to do that mid-season, or do they have to wait till the end of the year? Or how's that work?
I believe what they're going to do is wait until the end of the season so that everybody can kind of concentrate on it. At the same time, right now, it doesn't seem like the players' union is going to stop anyone from wearing a neck brace if they so choose. Because there are some players that in the NHL that have already said, "Oh yeah, I'm wearing one." I'm just, after seeing what happened with Adam Johnson, it's silly not to take the extra step to protect myself.
Oh yeah, exactly. Wow.
When does the international rule come into effect?
Oh, there we go. The exact date for the IIHF neck guard mandate to go into place is still to be determined based on the supply of neck guards available. Quote, the IIHF remains in close contact with its suppliers to ensure that they are able to respond to the current high demand. Until the rule officially goes into effect, the IIHF continues to strongly recommend that neck laceration protectors are worn by all players performing in an IIHF competition. Before now, IIHF had initially only had neck protection rules for under 20 and under 18 play, so neck guards were already mandatory in tournaments like the World Juniors. Organization that governs hockey around the world decided to widen the order based on the recommendation of its medical committee.
And therein lies another reason why you can't just turn around and snap your fingers and demand that everybody do this. If there suddenly is huge demand and there's short supply, you've got a problem. Yep. So that's another reason you're not going to see it become instantaneous overnight. Everybody's got to get one of these. That they'll encourage players and they'll work with players to make it happen, but they won't mandate that it must happen instantaneously if there's a supply shortage.
Yeah, exactly. The first group to put in this mandate was, of course, English Ice Hockey Association, where Adam Johnson played. Beginning in 2024 is when they're going to do their mandate. Similar to the IIHF, the mandate was not immediate, again, like you said, because of supply issues.
And that just, again, that only makes sense. So,
yeah.
But 2024 is right around the corner. You know, we're only just a few weeks away from the first of the year.
Yeah. NHL VP of Hockey Operations Rod Pasma addressed general managers last month on cut-proof equipment. He said players have far more options than a decade ago, including 10 or more choices for wrist, body, Achilles, but fewer options for neck guards. Quote, in the neck, we're getting there. We did not have many a month ago, but as it sits today, I think there's up to 8 companies on my desk waiting to be cleared, And of those 8, there's probably 12 to 14 options to wear should they choose.
That's cool. The one that I have seen, it really does make sense to wear. It almost looks like you're wearing a mock neck under your sweater.
Sure.
Is what it looks like to the outside viewer. And from what I've read from a couple players that wear it, it's like, dude, why haven't I been wearing this literally the whole time I'm playing? It doesn't inhibit me in any way. I can still talk. I can still communicate. I can still skate. I can turn my head. I can do all the things I need to do. And oh, by the way, if this icy blade of death happens to come up near my throat, I've got that little bit of extra protection to make sure that I might get hurt, but I won't die, you know?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it seems like a no-brainer.
It really does. It really does. I mean, you'll see some, I mean, you still see older players that don't have visors on their helmets. So you'll see some guys that just will say that they'll decide that it's not for them, and okay, it's not for them. I'm sure that's something else that the NHL will do with the players union too, is I'm sure they'll grandfather it too. That it'll be okay. It's mandatory for players with X amount of, for under X amount of experience, but for everybody else, your choice, you do you, boo. So I'm sure we'll see a grandfather clause in there too.
Yeah. Several NHL players, including Washington's TJ Oshie, have donned neck guards for games this season in light of Johnson. Quote, NHL guys, I think it's super important that they know it's going to be available, Oshie said. We're grown men. If you don't want to do it, you don't. Or at least now, middle of the season, I don't know if it's necessary to mandate it, but you can make your own choices. I made my choice for my kids. I want to stick around for them, just trying to decrease the chance of injury.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Yep.
Makes all the sense in the world. All right, let's take one more quick break, and then when we come back, there's a team that usually when we're bringing them up, we're picking on them. We're having a little bit of fun at their expense. We really can't do that this time. We have to exonerate them. We have to acknowledge the job we are doing. We have to talk about those occupants of Mullet Arena, the Arizona Coyotes. We will discuss the good things that the Coyotes are doing next. You are listening to the Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey sports fans, do you like wine? Well, we've got the show for you. This is Let's Wine About Sports, a show where we talk about wine and sports simultaneously. From the classic Cabernet Sauvignon all the way down to the grapes that you've never even heard of before. Oh yeah, we cover it all. And we'll talk about a little bit of sports as well. Football, hockey, collegiate, women's sports, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to whine about it all. So join me Monday at 8 p.m. on IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey sports fans, are you in the market for Florida sports or just keeping up with the latest in the Panhandle? Palm Tree Sports is a dedicated audio hub to all things sports in the Sunshine State. We cover current events, big news, heavily favored opinions all across the NFL, NBA, MLB, and so much more. So come check us out every Saturday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For a down south education on Florida sports and athletics, it's hosted by yours truly, Corey Pujols, and is powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey yo, what's up? It's your man Bishop, the voice of This Is KC Sports, the show where we go over the Chiefs, the Royals, KC Current, Sporting KC, MU, and oh yeah, if we got time, we'll even throw in some of that KU stuff for my people on the 913 South. Come and hang out with us every Sunday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey there, sports fans. Are you looking for a sports show that maybe isn't 100% about sports?
Then you might want to check out the Sports Couple Perspectives right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Most sports shows cover only scores and stats, and while we're not opposed to that, we dig a little deeper into sports issues and some of the hottest topics in athletics.
In addition to sports, we take a journey through my neck of the woods, pop culture, with movie reviews of both sports and non-sports films.
Speaking of pop culture, make sure to participate in our game nights, where we quiz each other on our specialties, and you, the listeners, can win IE Sports Radio apparel.
We always have a great time learning more about each other's worlds, one show at a time.
So join us each week on the Sports Couple Perspectives, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hello, ladies and sinners. Hello, sports fans around the world. Hello, IE Sports family. This is Cale Henderson, the host of IE Vegas, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio. If you folks are interested in sports in the Vegas area, if you're wanting to have a blast for 1 hour, every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, this is a show built for the Vegas sports fans, where we feature the Las Vegas Raiders, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, the Las Vegas Aces, and the University of Las Vegas, Nevada Rebels. Hopefully, fingers crossed, MLB team coming soon. Either way, if you folks are looking to have a blast for 1 hour each and every week, tune in Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you folks are interested in Vegas sports news, go to our Twitter, at SinCities_IESR, and you can speak with me, the host, Cale Henderson, at Cale_Henderson on Twitter. At any time, be happy to reply. Always want to reach out to our fans. Again, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
And welcome back into the Neutral Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports, presented like all shows on IE Sports Radio by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Adam Krunick, Zach Puplis here with you for just a couple of more minutes here on this Tuesday night. So we got to talk about the Arizona Coyotes. Usually when we talk about the Coyotes on this show, it is not necessarily in the most flattering sense to the occupants of Mullet Arena, whether it's the fact that they're occupying a college stadium that only seats 5,000, or the fact that they're just generally a bad hockey team in the middle of a giant desert. It's usually less than flattering. However, tonight we must be kind to the Arizona Coyotes. Why? They're on a 5-game winning streak. Well, what's so special about a 5-game winning streak? The teams that they have beaten along the way, they currently, as we sit here on December 5th, just 3 weeks away from Christmas and about 4 weeks away from the new year, more than a quarter of the way through the season, the Coyotes are 13-9-2. They have 28 points, and they sit in 4th place in the Central Division. And they're on a nice little 5-game winning streak. Who have they knocked out in those 5 games? The last 5 teams to win the Stanley Cup. Listen to these scores. November 25th, Coyotes 2, Golden Knights nothing. November 28th, Coyotes 3, Lightning 1. Then in overtime against the Colorado Avalanche on the 30th of November, Coyotes 4, Avalanche 3. Then we have on Saturday, December 2nd, Coyotes 4, St. Louis Blues 1. And then finally last night, Coyotes 6, Washington Capitals nothing. That is the last 5 Stanley Cup champions all going down against the Arizona Coyotes. Impressive stuff from Arizona. Kieran Daly, host of AZ Sports Daily here on IE Sports Radio, has got to be proud of his Coyotes.
Ooh. All thanks to just a quirk in the schedule.
Yeah. And right before that, they had played the Blues and lost 6-5. Apparently, that was just what they needed to get started, though, was that first one against the Blues, and now away they go. And they've got a chance to pick it up some more because they've got the Flyers next. That can very easily be a game that we can see them extend that streak a little bit.
Oh, yeah. So Nick Schmaltz scored 2 goals against the Capitals as the Coyotes became the first team in NHL history to beat the previous 5 franchises to win the Stanley Cup in consecutive games with a 6-0 rout of the Washington Capitals. Quote from Schmaltz: "There's stretches where you're going to win a lot of games. There's stretches where you're going to lose, and you got to stay with it either way. So we're doing a good job of managing the puck and playing the right way."
But still, congratulations, Nick Schmaltz. Congratulations, Arizona Coyotes. I can't promise that the next time we bring you up, we won't go back to picking on you. But
right.
Credit where the credit is due, knocking off the last 5 Stanley Cup champs in your last 5 games, that is darned impressive. One other fun, impressive story, and then we've got to get ourselves out of here. You may have heard us talk last season, right at the end of the season, about the Professional Women's Hockey League coming up and starting. Well, they had their start. They made their appearance yesterday. The Professional Women's Hockey League began its preseason in Utica, New York, and what a way to start. Blair Turnbull, who played for many years for Team Canada, in the very first preseason game, Turnbull got a hat trick in the first game for Toronto, beating Boston in the game 5-3. Blair Turnbull with a hat trick to start things off in the first ever Professional Women's Hockey League preseason game. They're finalizing the preseason right now. They're set to begin the regular season here at the start of the new year, so we're about 4 weeks away from the start of their season. They've got 6 teams. We'll be talking some more about this league as we get to the new year. Other games that went on, some other games that were going on with that league. We had New York beat Montreal 4-0 yesterday. We had New York and Ottawa playing to a 1-1 draw right now. They're in overtime. Minnesota and Toronto played to a draw 5-5 today, and Montreal beat Boston also earlier today 3-2 in preseason. So the Professional Women's Hockey League preseason is underway and getting started. Awesome for them. We'll be talking some more about that league here in the coming weeks as they have their original 6 going and getting ready to make history here in just a couple of weeks. That is going to do it for our show here tonight. Big shout out and thank you again to our sponsor, Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Go to planetjerky.net to place your order. Free shipping on all orders of $50 or more. Big shout out and thank you to Larry B for all the hard work you do behind the scenes, sir. Thank you to Marcus Lowe's Great and Taryn Rodriguez for hanging out with us in the chat room tonight. Thank you, gentlemen. Coming up right after us here on the Neutral Zone, it is Sin City Sports with Cale Henderson. So you want to know more about Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, be sure to stick around. He will get you caught up on all things happening in Las Vegas between the Knights and the Raiders and maybe some NHL draft talk. And there's going to be, there's a baseball team coming to town and, just general Vegas fun stuff going on. So be sure to stick around and catch that. Finally, thank you, the listener, for being here. Whether you caught us tonight live on Tuesday night on Spreaker or you listen to the playback later on as a podcast on Spotify or YouTube or iHeartRadio, Amazon, Google, wherever it is that you found us, Apple Music, however you found us, thank you for being here. We really do appreciate it. He is Zach Puplis. I am Adam Karnick. Together, we are the Neutral Zone. We will see you guys next week. Until then, be safe, be healthy. Zach, what else can we say to the folks?
Down the penalty box.
We'll see you next week, everybody.